We have Advocate Nyaradzo Maphosa live in studio. She is a lawyer and a partner at Soya and Mkushi Legal Practitioners. Hey, Advolvo, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Vikandi. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I am awesome.
So, we have quite an interesting topic that we're introducing today. Compulsory paternity test.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
It's
not bad.
You know, my goodness. So you know what? Let's start this off. We're not going to finish it today, so we're going to spill it over to next week.
Alrighty.
But let's start it this way. Kuti, you know what? It so seems that there are some legislators, and we mean my MPs, who have stated publicly, Kuti, they're planning on introducing a motion in Parliament, right, proposing a law that says all children, before they're given birth certificates, must have undergone DNA tests, them and their parents. Paternity tests.
Yeah.
So that
saves time.
And that's that.
And that's it.
There's a whole lot of drama. Now, you know what? I did a bit of research on this. And maybe before I even start talking about the research, let's talk about what they say their reasons are. Okay, and then we can sort of weigh them. Because
and I also want to hear from people as well your thoughts on that, on compulsory paternity test.
Yeah.
Let me hear. Hit us up on our WhatsApp platform.
Precisely.
I'm like, it's a go. It's good. Let's hear from you.
So the ladies who are saying, it's actually ladies, it's not even men, hey? It's the ladies who are coming up and saying, look, number one, there's just been a huge surge of negative paternity results, you know, to fathers who have been pointed out as the father of a child, right? And maybe before we go further, I want to ask you, Vikendi, to say, okay, this huge surge in negative results, and apparently the percentage that is being given of the tests that have been done, I think it was 70%, something like that. Yeah. And my question is, who are these people who are having DNA tests done, whatever 70%, whatever percentage it is, which seems to be alarming? And my thoughts, I want to hear what your thoughts are, but my thoughts are, Kuti, inange team ya mjolo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Test you are like, social media, it's people, they're not like people who are married, people who are like in stable relationships. You know, church, lift, or whatever. There's some
although those are the stories.
Those are the stories.
Mostly.
Most of them.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I get you.
Yes, where you have, you know, situations. But most of the people, my programs, and this, but it just seems to me like it seems to be a certain type of people who would most likely be, or the women who would most likely be in multiple relationships at the same time, you know. And so, a high percentage. Is that evidence enough to bring a matter to Parliament to make a decision that will affect the whole country? Are those people so far, are they representative of the whole population? That's a question that I would want to ask, to say, because like this is their first reason. You could guys,
I guess also to put into consideration, it's, you know, they are representing vanu vatogara kuti inyaya yagara itori nyaya kare, exactly, yagara itori nyaya kare, and ndo yavapusha kuti vaende kunotestwa, because already so ndo vari kuenda, not kuti people who are
the normal person, the ordinary person, exactly. The ordinary father or a normal father would generally suspect kuti vana avazi
pane nyaya inenge iriko kumashure, So we are actually expecting it kuti inobuda yakaita sei yakacheyama kudaro, you know,
because pane zvinenge zvatobatwa kuti iwe waita so iwe mafambiro ako iwe kana kuti ameno kuti ende timu rachona zvakaoma so mukamtaroko I mean vikendi hanzi takangosangana iwe kamusanganiro kacho vanhu vatondotsvaga loji musi uyoyo. Yeah, are you serious? You know, ochida kuti zvibude sei.
Yeah,
you get what
I
mean?
get what you're saying. But then, of course, there is another percentage yevanhu vatori mumba vari kujola as well, vari mumba. So, but then, like you're saying, it's not a representation.
Is it representative? Yeah.
Yeah,
really,
of saying kuti majority,
of
right?
The population.
Of the population.
Precisely.
Exactly. So I get what you're saying.
Then the second reason that's coming up, to some reasons, actually, there are many reasons, of course, that will support that position, and we want to look at that. But another reason the legislators are bringing up, varikuti, aiwa toda kureduce the occurrence of GBV, gender-based violence. Saka zvataura ndezvokuti madzimai, they are being beaten up because varume vemumba, they are discovering kuti vana vemumba havasi vavo. I don't know about that. They can tell me. Tikati, okay, gender-based violence iri kuitika. Tikati percentage yevari kurova madzimai avo, and tikati ma reasons ndeyekuti ndawana kuti mwana wangu yazi vana vavazi vangu. What's the percentage of vanhu vakadaro?
And normally vanhu vachona vanenge vachizodaroka havazi type vanorohwa, vamwe vachona vanenge vachiita zvinhu zvakadaro vachivhura hombe idzi. So you know, I'm just saying.
And most men, kana angona zvakadaro anongosiya, you know, some men will be like, no, let's get on with it. But vamwe vanongosiya, you know, they just like, look, dude, you know, it just means kuti hauzi wangu. Kana kuti it means, whatever, ngatingoshisiya zvakadaro.
But maybe to protect vamwe vanoaccuswa, ivo vasiri, pana mwanorohwerwa mahara, you know, ekuti adheya ngatikonzi, wakaita chipfambi, chakati, pamwe asina kutoita, pamwe vana havastori vangu. So maybe to protect those ones as well.
But then percentage, you know, the thing is, the minute you're talking of parliament, you're talking of something that's super prevalent, right?
I get you.
And Makatarisa, you know, my organizations that deal with women's issues and women's affairs and, you know, empowerment kudi mukavhunza kuti ma reasons yacho kuti kana munhu mukati vese vari kuya vachiti tarohwa, you know, even kumaporisa mukazotarisa kuti vari kunzi ndarohwa inini because yanzi mwana wechi3 hazi wake. Percentage yacho it is so minuscule, so tiny, kuti you can't use
to
that,
move emotion.
you can't use GBV to then introduce this law. Because there are many other reasons that people are violent. Whatever. It's got nothing really, very little to do with this issue. So that might not be a very persuasive argument. Then the third thing, again, mind you, this one might even be worse. You're going to try and reduce the number of femicides, like kurawa kuruta madzimai. Again, I can see your face this weekend.
Yeah.
doubt.
Yes.
Kuti, okay, saka madzimai esari kurawawa. You know, whenever, like, maybe paita femicide kana kuti mudzimai aurawa, whether mudzimai wemunhu kana kuti asi mudzimai wemunhu. Can we say that the majority of them is because the fathers discovered kuti the children are not their children? I don't think so. You know, I actually don't think so. So if these ladies want to take this matter up, I think Gavachange Mangoma reasons, because so far these are the reasons they brought forward.
Okay.
However, it doesn't, I mean, the whole point is not to do down the issue, because I think sure madzimai ari kuvhura hombe. You know, that's the truth. I'll tell you one situation that you know that occurred where people were dating in college. They then hooked up later. They broke up. Then they got married. Each one had children. And then they then hooked up again. And then the child from both families, well, for both people, was Chikomba's child. Right? And he was married. Chikomba was married. And the lady was married. And the father raised the child, you know,
He didn't
read
know.
proper, you know, and I think that was his favorite child.
Exactly. Ish.
And then later on, I mean, not chinongozoitika, you know, chinongozobuda, you know, and I suspect kuti kana tongoti mema kutukana shesha munobva atindi kutobva pano munoti wewe chibva you know ndisira vana vangu panapa kana ndakubva nevana vangu munobva kuti manje shamwari iwe vako ndova unoenda nawo. Imagine like vako ka ndova unotora uenda nawo
saka uri kuti vangu kavesi
saka da. So the guy then discovers kuti vamwewo kuda vanoitawo through counseling, you know, vanhu vane depression and mental health issues, honestly, because dzimwe nguva madzimai togona kuchita zvedu maginda gore like takangwara seregende takashinga stereke, but the guilt sometimes of just knowing kuti you know clearly uyu mwana waJohn uyu, you know, as wa Peter, you know, that kind of thing. And sometimes kana waenda ku counseling, the counselors will ask you kuti, is there anything that's like hidden in your heart? Maybe. Because that's part of counseling. To try and help you if you're like suffering from depression or whatever it is. They will ask you those questions. Sometimes maybe wamkwenda uchechi ukandoparidzirwa shoko rakasimba stereke. You know, zvinzi munhu ane chivi chese, you know, zvese zvakavanzika zvichaonekwa Kristu ouya. Munobva anazokufunga kuti hey. So these things they come out and sometimes it's even to do with inyaya kuti people are fighting for custody, right? Maybe people are already divorced and things are not working, and then
or maybe the father wachona claim kuti ashamwari mwanangu, or sometimes
exactly kana kuti iwewe you're not a good parent, and sometimes maybe the mother is not a good parent, and the father has a right to say ini I'd rather have custody evana because vana vakagara nemunhu akaita so, right? Ipapo ndo panozonzi
aiwa friends anobuditsa gowa,
or you know, tarisa vana ava kufanana kwawo shamwari na usikona kuti uyu mino yake ndeya, you know. So these things, they come out in all sorts of ways, and that can really be hectic. And I remember again a case, a friend of a friend, where the father, I think the child was a girl and she was about 4 years old. I think she's about 4 when the guy discovered. I think Papa yakatsemurwa neshamwari, you know, and he'd married, you know, this girl, and vakatoita shese everything. And you know, little girls and their dads, I mean, he used to take her everywhere. Do you know what I mean? If he's in his denims, she's in her little denims, the tuma pom pom. And guys, Pakas would discover. I mean, this I then got to know because it was like a story close to, you know, to family. Because the guy just didn't know what to do. Because he loved this kid to the tease. You know, and the little
like,
kid,
daddy's
this
little
was
girl.
Daddy. Yeah, and this is my daddy.
Daddy what?
And now, how does daddy just disappear from home? How are you going to tell this child? And kind of 4 years. I mean, even at 8, it's hectic. Even at 16, it's hectic. 25 is horrible. I mean, think about that. So, yeah. And
good day V Candy and Advocate Compalsory DNA inotisimudzira mhepo tobatirwa vana vatatokanganwa masango kuzanonga uchitsvaga baba watsvaga vanonga kuti munhu waainaye mumba handii. And then what was the father?
Attitudes and I think, you know what, next week we want to look at the other side. Kuti, like, what does the law actually say? And you know, just what does our culture say about things like that? I think it will shock people. Kuti. And I like what he just said. But anyway, I think the other reasons that have been given, like to support, you know, maybe a sibling, like your true sibling, needs like a kidney, you know, and maybe Mngori too, and you're the person who can help. And because you don't know, you know, then that can be hectic, and you can find nobody matches. What about inheritance? Weekend maybe Michael Jackson, you know. you know, because you know, so family inheritance, you know, you can miss out on family inheritance, and I think vanenge vachitya kuti mwana uyu anozobenefita from family siri yake, whatever. But yeah, it's that's out there for argument and for discussion. And then a child might also be ignorant of family propensities, pane vanomboparidza kavachiti kuna magenerational curse. Iwe chero uri ikoko kuNew Zealand zvinenge zvekuti zvinokuvinga uri ikoko usingatozvizive uri my actual dzinza rangu charo kazvinoda munamato but maybe kana tikati family propensities, like maybe Panama propensities, or how do we call them? The word that's coming to me is not going to help us.
Okay.
But, I'm thinking of proclivities, but maybe your parents are prone to cancer, or they were prone, or, mudzinza menyu, or family menu, family line, family history, my genetics, my tendencies, and you don't even know. Kuti maybe kune sekuru vangu vane multiple sclerosis, saka iwewe you should probably be handling your diet this way, or you should be making these decisions, It's just my genetics, you don't know, so it can actually be negative on mana. And then just the depression and the upheaval and the drama both to the child and to the father. I mean, you look at the child, there's nothing like thinking kuti inini ndinonzi Nyari Maphosa, and then it turns out no, actually handis, kuti tichikantamina hey zvonzigara pasi,
miswa
hauzi Maphosa sha, because zvakazodai mama vako paipa pavakazoenda kuSwaziland zvikazodiwe. I mean, you know what I mean? And just the identity crisis that happens with children at whatever age, and the fathers as well. I mean, we really have to look at the fathers. And then there's the other thing on the mothers as well. Vikendi, mona kangokuti ande ku DNA test, ato kupuma uroi. You understand what I mean? I'm pregnant, or, pane mwana, then unzanza ande ku DNA test. It means urotondutaka ini ndakamanya ndaivura wombeni, And then if it turns out kuti actually mwana wako, zvinotokwidza BP worse. You know what I mean? Like worse and worse, because wangoshindifungira ke you were saying kuti ndakaita chipambi and yet handina, So if you see women being so angry, concerning iwe nyaya kuti
I'm saying if it's compulsory, it saves a lot of time. It saves time. I think it should be, hey? It saves time.
But what about they meet a girl and she's actually pregnant, but he loves her, and he decides kuti between the two of them, I want to take care of you and your baby, I don't mind. And their guys will do that. Like, some guys, kudos to you out there. So, those guys will actually say that.
Yeah.
And it's between us.
Oh, yes.
You get what I mean?
It's our secret.
It's our secret between the two of us, and that's fine. And look, there's the parenting autonomy. I must have the freedom to parent the child that I want to parent. You get what I mean? If I say I want to parent this child, and I took this woman and her child, and
but then I'm saying kwavanenge varipera vabereki panoitwa DNA yachona compulsory upon birth.
He has chosen to parent mwana siri wake, apiwa choice, but having to parent mwana wapiwa in the name yokuti ndewako, I think that's wrong.
Exactly, that's wrong.
So that's not giving me a choice to choose to parent mwana siri wangu because mukuti ndewangu.
Well, that is out there for discussion and argument.
We need to carry on with the conversation. Nyari, for those who want to get in touch with you.
Okay, guys, I'm Advocate Nyaradzo Maphosa on all my social media handles, and 796060 is my landline in Harare, and 0771 111 099 is my cell phone. And we carry on with the conversation.
Anzi, DNA test are meant to protect men. It's men who should comment. Okay.
Ay, yo, 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 yo.
Check it on time to 11 o'clock, Star FM.